At least one person has been killed after a roof collapsed at Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport. High winds and heavy rains are being blamed. The incident follows a series of record-breaking heat waves and rainfall linked to climate change in the Indian capital.
Cars stuck in traffic for hours. Underpasses blocked by overflowing rainwater. Metro stations shut. Delhi is inundated by heavy rainfall.
We're turning people back as the road is waterlogged.
The heavy pre-monsoon rain has destroyed the roof of this international airport terminal in Delhi, leaving at least one person dead.
I saw the roof falling. Nobody's giving any information, no messages or call updates. We're unable to get a hold of any cabs, and we don't even know if we'll get a refund.
The Indian capital hasn't seen so much June rainfall at once in at least the last 15 years. And this heavy downpour comes immediately after people in the capital endured weeks of unbearable heat. Scientists say these extreme and abrupt weather patterns are another product of human-induced climate change.
Our correspondent Adil Bhat is in Delhi at the airport. Tell us more about what happened.
When I'm standing outside the domestic airport in New Delhi, right behind you can see the collapsed rooftop where the incident took place. So the roof and supporting pillars of this domestic airport in Delhi collapsed early this morning on cars and taxis that were lined up outside the departure lane. So this incident happened because of heavy rainfall in Delhi for the last 2 days. So in this incident, a taxi driver was killed and 8 others were injured. So there are visuals on social media, on TV channels that show a taxi was crashed under the metal pillar. So what has happened, this airport used to be one of the busiest domestic airports. Now, right now, you can see it looks deserted. So the flights were delayed. There has been cancellation also. And now what's happening on the social media, it's playing out that opposition is trying to politicize this incident. They're accusing Modi government of inaugurating this temple. They're telling that he is building weak buildings. That's why they say that this is a result of the corruption and criminal negligence by the Modi government. But the ruling government denied all these allegations, saying that the part of the collapsed building was built under the Congress government in 2009. So you can see right now nothing is happening as much. The rescue operation also took place. The passengers were taken to safer places. So this is what it looks like right now.
All that rain is also causing problems, I believe, for Delhi residents elsewhere.
Definitely, the heavy rainfall has impacted the daily life of the people in Delhi. So it's difficult for people to run the daily chores. And we also saw when we're coming to the airport, the water logging in some parts of Delhi. So several parts of the Delhi were submerged. People were stuck in traffic. There were puddles on the road, and many see that rainfall after the months of heat wave is not a relief, but rather making things worse for most of the residents here. So water was also flowing and gushing inside the homes in many residential societies, and many parts of the Delhi are flooded. Cars are trapped, thigh-deep water. So metro stations were also impacted, and we have also seen the reports that there were electricity cut also in some parts of Delhi. So life has come to a standstill in this morning, but the situation is getting better, and the sun is also coming out. The situation is much better as compared to morning.
Some good signs there. DW's Adil Bhat, thanks for bringing us up to date. Let's bring in Aditi Mukherji, climate change adaptation and resilience expert. She joins us from Kolkata. Welcome to DW. What can be done at a city planning level that can help overcrowded cities like Delhi to be better equipped to deal with heavy downpours?
So urban planning needs to be completely revamped. But let's remember that the kind of rainfall that Delhi experienced was something that any level of infrastructure simply cannot cope with. And this will become more and more the reality as we move into a world with a higher amount of greenhouse gas emissions. So better city infrastructure is absolutely important. That's the kind of the adaptation side of it. But equally important would be for the world to come together and act in lowering the greenhouse gas, which is causing climate change in the first place. Incidents like these would be in some places just beyond coping. You can invest a lot in the infrastructure, but these kind of extreme weather events would still be very hard because these are just huge amount of rainfall that fell in 24 hours, which is kind of has not happened since whatever last 70, 80 years. I think the last one on the record was in 1936 or something. And we will see more of it. And, just before this, we saw the extended heat waves, again, one of those unprecedented events, but now becoming more and more common due to climate change. So we need to invest in everything we can to adapt, but adaptation alone will not be enough.
What about making more room for green areas in big cities?
Absolutely. We need more green areas. So Delhi does have quite a bit of greenery, but that's actually only limited to some of the wealthier parts of the city. Southern Delhi is actually pretty green, but when we go to the less well-off neighborhoods, that's where we do not have much greenery. So that is actually green infrastructure would be very important to invest in into the future. But again, as I said, unless we bring down the burning of fossil fuel and actually reduce the emission of greenhouse gas, we can do everything in our toolkit for adaptation, but we would reach the limit simply because it's just too warm to adapt in various ways.
And what about the
So green
severe?
is
What about the severe heat wave we mentioned? Why are we seeing such abrupt weather patterns? First the heat wave, then all this rain.
I think this is completely linked to climate change. I think the models have been predicting this for 20, 30 years. It's not as if this is completely unexpected. We knew that if we continue to pump greenhouse gas into the atmosphere, global temperature levels will grow up. And as we have higher warming temperatures, and so much would be the water content in the atmosphere. So this is just climate change physics working out in practice. And we will see more of it. I mean, the fear that most of us climate scientists fear is that every previous year would seem like it was a better year than ever before. So looking back, this may be not as bad as the next year will bring. And we are seeing continuous intensification of extreme climate events precisely because of human-induced climate change.
Sounds like there's a lot that all of us can do, though. Aditi Mukherji, thank you very much for being on DW.
Thank you.